pandering, she's pandering. She wasn't pandering. She wasn't. She said, I, Caitlyn Clark, have earned every single thing that I've accomplished. And that in itself is so that you guys cannot claim and tell her that her white privilege is why she is where she's at. Because if it was just white privilege, please tell me why Sabrina Ionescu couldn't do it, Diana Taurasi couldn't do it, Breonna Stewart couldn't do it. All these Caitlyns before Caitlyns didn't have the same effect as Caitlyn. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time. If this is your first time here, it is Raquel here with the Rah Report. I am back. I am finally back. I know you guys, I've been on a hiatus. I have been some things that has happened. I have some personal things, and then, I just haven't been consistent, but I'm back to being consistent. With that being said, if you haven't already done so and you'd like to, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you comment your opinions, and share if you like my content. All right, so let's get right into this one because I'm not going to waste too much time. I want to get directly into this and kind of deep dive into what is going on. So one of the funniest things is that everyone thinks this is a Caitlyn Clark channel. I am not a Caitlyn Clark channel. It's just I'm not dumb enough to not understand the biggest athlete right now, one of the biggest athletes in the world right now is Caitlyn Clark. And if you're in denial of that, fine, cool. We know how some of you are. The point is that she's just who she is. And when I speak about her, I'm more passionate because the love she has for the game reminds me of the love I have for the game, reminds me of the love Kobe had for the game. And so it's much easier for me to speak on somebody I respect and I like than just to speak on topics. Now, I know as a creator, you just got to be ready and willing to create. So we're here. So today, everyone may know that Caitlyn Clark was named by Time Magazine as Athlete of the Year. Yes, you heard it right. Athlete of the Year, not Women's Player of the Year, WNBA Player of the Year, none of that. Athlete of the Year. She becomes only the second person who's a basketball player to be named it. Only other person was LeBron James in 2020, and she's the first WNBA player to be named Athlete of the Year. It just keeps getting better. So I have read the article. It is a long read, but a very good read. And I think it's just too much to deep dive into the entire article in one video because you guys would be here too long and you guys wouldn't like it. Just gonna be honest. And plus it's like subsections of what you should go over. So I may do a video or two more on certain parts that I feel like are important. But the first one I wanted to address was what I had seen and said on Twitter. One of the things that she in this article addressed was all of the racial tension, I don't even know how you want to say it. All of the things that were said from a standpoint of how does she feel. One of the first things I want people to understand, because people were misunderstanding something. First and foremost, in this article, Caitlyn Clark said at the beginning after they asked her the question, she said, I have earned every single thing that I've accomplished. Every single thing. So that means to tell you that she is self-aware enough to understand that she has earned everything that she has accomplished. However, she mentioned in there white privilege and it made everyone so, oh my God, why would she do that? She's conforming, she's bowing. No, I think you guys misunderstood what she said to that. Now, one of the things she did say is that she understands as a white person, there is a privilege. Now, if you're saying to yourself, like, that's not true, she didn't get privilege, listen, we're not going to be in denial that there's a white privilege in society. But she was very clear that that was not what played a role with her transcending basketball, with her being the player she is, and with everything she's accomplished in the basketball community, dominating it and bringing all the eyes of the women's league. No. And I think people got offended by that for whatever reason, because they all said, oh, she's doing the Paige Becker speech and she's giving in to them and she's saying what they want to hear. That's not what she said. That's not what she said. She is humble and human enough to say, hey, I know that there's a white privilege, but I am not benefiting from that privilege as a white player. I have earned every single thing that I've accomplished, and she has, and more, and does deserve that. And then she also paid homage to the players prior which are the players who are dominant in the league, which are the black players, by saying that, hey, they have carried this league on their back, and she wants to change the narrative where black athletes and women aren't, necessarily looked at for brand deals and same contractual deals or things of that nature. She wants to elevate the game to elevate all women. If you're offended by that, there's a problem, because she's not necessarily going and just going, oh, she's bowing down to them and they're still never going to be enough. I will say this. She said it and I thought, oh, wow, that's amazing. People didn't ever ask her how she felt about it. They just made assumptions. And there are still people who are mad. There are people who are mad on both sides of the spectrum. There are people who were like, oh, she should have said it sooner. Oh, we're not about to do that. And there are the bunch of people who are bitter souls on Twitter who are always going to find fault. Like, they just don't like Caitlyn Clark. They just don't like her because she's a white girl dominating the black sport. And women do tend to not like women. And we just lie about it. We just pretend like we love each other all the time, and we just don't. I'm not going to pretend like I like every woman. I don't like a lot of these women who are part of the league. I'm just going to be completely honest. I don't like a lot of people who cover the WNBA. I don't like a lot of people who come off as hypocrites and, set these hypocrisy bounds. I just don't. But with that being said, Caitlyn Clark is always going to be an athlete first. And she grew up admiring some of these players. We all know Maya Moore was one of her favorite players in the WNBA. So if you are mad because she gave credit to the WNBA players who are mostly black for building up the league, then you have to self-reflect and ask yourself if you're the problem, because that's not something that is untrue. This doesn't mean that she's saying that black women pioneered the sport of basketball, because no, it was very much bigger overseas. And I think she's just paying homage to those who helped build the league up. Now, I say all that to say that Caitlyn Clark will always have and be so humbled. However, I want her to stop being humble. She's done enough with humility, and she's done enough with, giving you guys, not you guys, the people who want these like special answers, and she needs to speak up on these things. It's enough already. She has spoken up against and outright against racism, harassment, bullying, treatment of players and things of that nature. She's spoken up. She has given homage and credit to those who have helped build the league. You guys, or they, sorry, I'm saying you guys, they really want to humble her to the point where she doesn't give herself any credit. And Caitlyn Clark, you'll never see this, but you need to stop being so humble and stop giving yourself credit, because they have downplayed everything you have accomplished all year out of complete jealousy, pettiness, and inability to accept that you as a white player was better than them as black players. And I know people keep calling me all kinds of Candace Owens and you're a coon and you're a self-hating and look at her. I am not. I am self-aware. Somebody on Twitter said something that I needed to hear. He said, I'm so happy that you've never talked down on Caitlyn Clark, and you weren't making this about race and culture. You made it about the talent and the skills and appreciation of the game. And it's true. I only love the game. I've never spoken down on black players just to speak down on them or anything like that. I don't disrespect them. I may call them out because they do need to be called out. I don't believe in the notion that we can pretend like there's nothing wrong, or black women players or black women in itself can never be called out for our behavior. I call myself out for my behavior. So when she said that, I want people to stop being so harsh and trying to say that she's giving in to the woke. And please stop saying woke, because that's very annoying, because that word, we know what you're doing now at this point. It's just not cool. But what Caitlyn Clark is able to do is she's always going to take the higher road, because she was raised right. She is mentally tough. She's outclassed them, as I said in my previous video. So they thought they were going to get to her mentally. They didn't. They thought she couldn't speak up for things that they wanted her to speak
down on your shoulders.
I feel like I always have had really good perspective on everything that's kind of happened in my life, whether that's been good, whether that's been bad. And then obviously coming to the WNBA, like I've said, I feel like I've earned every single thing that's happened to me over the course of my career. But also, I grew up a fan of this league from a very young age. Like, my favorite player was Maya Moore. Like, I know what this league was about. And like I said, like, it's only been around 25 plus years. So I know there's been so many amazing black women that have been in this league, and continuing to uplift them, I think, is very important. And that's something I'm very aware of. And like I said, like, I try to just be real and authentic and, you know, share my truth. And I think that's very easy for me. Like, I'm very comfortable in my own skin. And that's kind of been how it is my entire life.
Yes. And you'll never be able to make everyone happy. And someone that knows that at the age of 22, like, let's go.
I mean, I think I have good perspective on that. And like I said in the article, which turned out amazing, I thought it was great. I said, I feel like one of my best skills is just blocking things out. Like, I don't really, the only opinions I really care about are the people that I love, my teammates, my coaches, the people inside of our locker room, the people that I see every single day, and I know have my best interests at heart too. So I think my best skill is just blocking out the noise, and hopefully it continues to be, because with the way things are going and where the WNBA is going, you want that attention and you embrace it, and that's what makes this so fun.
Yeah. I'm just so thankful that you are the leader. Like, you are the chosen one in the future of the sport because of...
but never required of anyone else. She did. At this point, I do believe Caitlyn Clark has to stop now, just, humbling herself to the point where she doesn't give her credit for everything she's accomplished. And we got to stop acting like this is a regular player. This is not a special player. This is not a special person who has came in and, as I said, transcended the game of basketball. You don't have to like her. Fine. If you don't like her because you just want to be on your I hate Caitlyn train, stay on there and then stay on there and shut up. But there's too many people who don't know how to do that. And they disguise that it's all about this, oh, she could have said this earlier and she didn't protect. No, it is not her responsibility to protect every woman in the league when the league itself didn't protect everyone in the league and didn't protect her. I was trying my best to be fair. I have tried this entire WNBA season to be fair to the players, whether they were black, whether they were of another nationality or from a different country or anything of that nature. I've tried to say, hey, we need to protect all these players. At the end of the day, we got to stop the narratives that we're pushing. We have to stop thinking that Caitlyn Clark is going to somehow, some way solve all of the racial tensions and issues that happen in sport. It's not going to happen. And now, Caitlyn, take your bow and stop letting anybody downplay you, because I'm going to say this, and it's going to make a lot of people upset. But we do not expect for black athletes who are dominating in a black league to downplay their achievements. Instead, you would have, if she was black, you would have several women and several people say, protect her at all costs. So it's very much done. Stop doing it. If you don't like the girl, don't like her. But stop making up false narratives about her, because no one cares what she goes through. Everyone just answers to the victims and the victimhood mentality that the rest of the league has, grown accustomed to being. I said this on Twitter. I said, I can't remember the exact tweet, sorry. But I said, she did all of this while not playing the victim. Caitlyn Clark never played the victim role. She was hated on and had everyone against her solely off of being a true hooper. She took it on the chin. She got better. She let her game do the speaking. And she's done that over and over again. If you don't like what she says, or you turned your back on her because she simply gave credit to those before her, you are also part of the problem. But with that being said, congratulations, Caitlyn Clark, because you continue to be such an amazing person, athlete, and just overall how you conduct yourself and articulate yourself and how you have handled this. Not many could do this. You are only 22 and you have the world on your shoulders. And you are expected to make all the perfect moves, say all the right things, and it's impossible. And the people judging you and people who are, being overly hard on you couldn't handle a day in your life in your shoes. But for those of us who love Caitlyn Clark and really appreciate who you are as a player, continue to shine, continue to excel, continue to know you have true people who support you no matter what. On that note, you guys, I hope you guys leave positive comments, congratulate Caitlyn Clark, and please remember this is just the first video to answer like the elephant in the room of people being like, oh, she's doing too much and she's answering and she's pandering. She wasn't pandering. She wasn't. She said, I, Caitlyn Clark, have earned every single thing that I've accomplished. And that in itself is so that you guys cannot claim and tell her that her white privilege is why she is where she's at. Because if it was just white privilege, please tell me why Sabrina Ionescu couldn't do it, Diana Taurasi couldn't do it, Breonna Stewart couldn't do it. All these Caitlyns before Caitlyns didn't have the same effect as Caitlyn. Keep that in mind, because I will be addressing that very soon as well. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already done so, please make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and again, leave a comment if you have something to say. I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace. Motherfuckers ain't stopping me.